hey, you know, I love the fact that you sit there and you think she's going to say something amazing. No, I'm going to say something that might piss you off right now, okay? But then again, that's why you're here. So I'm one of those people who believes that the only people who truly know what's happening in this country are not sitting on Facebook or Twitter. It's everybody else who is around those people. So for me is, if you don't speak to the tea girl in your office, if you don't speak to the driver, if you don't speak to the cab driver, if you never speak to the hairdressers, your barber, your kinyozi, your waiter, you have no clue what's really happening in this country. I mean, those of us who sit in this little island we call digital platforms, you're regurgitating nonsense. The real heavyweight conversations come from the people who hit the streets every day, okay? And one of the reasons I love my fortnightly appointment with Mumbi and Steph, these are the girls who do my nails and my pedicure, is because I get to hear the reaction to real conversations, okay? And the first one, and that's the reason why this particular YouTube segment is called Who Is Your Mother, is that, you know, when a woman is holding your hands for about an hour and a half, and that's how long, you know, Mumbi holds my hands for as she's doing my nails, is, you know, she'll tell me something like, do you see that thing on Tuskys? I'm like, uh-huh. And that's all I say. I say, uh-huh, because I need her to keep going. She's like, who is their mother? And this is a genuine question. When you look at that video from the children, and I love the letter from the board of Tuskys, from the children who decided to oust the CEO, you're like, hey, who is your mother? Because my mother, Mrs. Mutoko, had have been beaten that day. In fact, there would have been a missing person report. It hurts my sensibilities to think that somebody raised you in a manner that allows you to humiliate another adult. It doesn't matter what that adult has done, okay? This is the CEO of an organization hired legally. I mean, just the legal repercussions are a nightmare, okay? But for you to think it's okay, number one, to call the media, to be able to show how important you are because your father owns a business? Who's your mother? That was just probably the saddest thing I've ever seen. It made me do a double take, and I'm a Tuskys customer, okay? Because where I live, there's one on the Giri Ridge, and it's just literally our local. But you're like, ugh, if that's how you treat the CEO of a business, my heart goes out to everybody else, the cashiers, the messengers, the drivers, everybody who's considered a minion in that organization. There are things you do not do, and it doesn't matter what your issues are. You should have been raised better to do better. And when you come from privilege, I'm sorry, you are held to a higher standard. You really are. But my question remains to those really sad characters, and it was painful to watch that, from Tuskys. Who's your mother? And this is just part 1 of 3 of Who's Your Mother. So subscribe. We need to talk about Who's Your Mother part 2.